Ready?
You know, I got a bad habit sometimes of just filing certain developers in a specific box. When I was a kid, Capcom were the fighting game people, Nintendo were the platformer devs, and Squaresoft were the RPG folks. Another perfect example is Irem. In my mind, they've always been the R-type guys, devs I would associate at being good at shooters. And you'd think that being an old man now, such preconceived notions would evaporate and I would look past things like this. But bad habits die hard, I guess, or I'm just a fucking idiot. Back when I played Blade Master, I came away really not liking it. I legit had the thought that there ain't no way Irem could do anything better than a shooter. But I came across a game that might actually change my mind. Let's take a look at Undercover Cops and discover why I should never be too quick to dismiss a developer. AD 2043. Everyone, the peace of our town is at its worst condition ever. I have a suggestion for improving it. It is to have city sweepers clean up the villains. So some town is having issues with bad guys, and the city sweepers are assigned to wipe them out. Which makes me wonder why this game isn't called City Sweepers. Also, take note that this dude said that a town is at stake. It will be confusingly important later. But who are the city sweeping undercover cops that are to retake the town? Well, we got Claude, codename Lightning Slasher. He's an ex-karate master who one day tried to protect his girlfriend, got into a fight, and killed a dude on accident. Why the hell does this sound familiar?
Con Air.
I beg your pardon?
Con Air.
This dude's backstory is legit the first 10 fucking minutes to Con Air. Hold on, when did this game come out? 1992. When did Con Air come out? 1997? Did Con Air take the backstory of a character from a fucking beat 'em up? Obviously, I'm joking. It's just a coincidence, but how bizarre would that be? Next we have Bubba, codename Fireball Crusher. An ex-pro football player, he was censured for being a dangerous man and was banished from the world of football. I'm guessing he was a dirty player or something, but what was the worst that he could have done? Finally, we have Flame, codename Blue Gale Revenger. An ex-female vigilante whose partner was killed by villains, and she has an excessive hatred of evil. I wanted to go with a Batman joke here, but I'm gonna go a different route. Watching her character sprite in action, doesn't she remind you of someone? Yeah, it's legit a chick version of Cody from Final Fight. Same white shirt, jeans, even their walk animations are virtually the same. Undercover Cops is a side-scrolling beat-em-up with everything you'd expect with a game from this genre. There's an attack button that can be mashed to perform combos, a jump button accompanied with air attacks, and if you press both buttons together, you can execute a get the fuck off me special, which takes a little bit of health when performed. There are also additional features like a dash, which can go into an attack or a jump attack with its own unique animations. The combos are really fun. Aside from the basic attack mashing combo, you can hold a direction and throw the enemy after a couple of hits. There are also multiple throws that can be done, like chucking an SOB across the screen, jumping up and slamming them down to the earth, or getting a BJ? Calm down, Bubba. And you can throw bosses, which is always fucking badass. But the coolest attacks are the super moves. By jumping in the air and inputting quarter circle forward or half circle forward, plus the attack button, heroes perform a giant screen clearing move that just looks amazing. They take a huge chunk of health to execute, but it's totally worth it. So full transparency real quick, when I first played through this game, I didn't even know these super moves existed, and they definitely make the game way easier. I legit had a whole section ready to talk about how brutally hard the game is, but the super attacks definitely even the odds. Like in most beat-em-ups, you can pick up weapons and objects to help you out. In Undercover Cops, there is some uniqueness to them. Throughout the game, you'll find buried poles and pillars across the stages. You can either attack them to get them out of the ground, or you can just straight up pull them. These weapons have great length, so they are very effective, but will break down the more you hit enemies with them. The best part is you can spin them all around you, which is awesome. And if that wasn't cool enough, how about the fact that our heroes are so strong, they can lift fucking cars and motorcycles above their damn heads and throw them like they're nothing. The combat overall is great in Undercover Cops. Everything feels responsive, and I love the attack animations. Especially one of Fem Cody's combos that ends in a Kabuki Quantum Fighter hair whip. It's so dope. I love the pillar weapons and the superhuman strength to throw vehicles. It's such a fun spin on beat 'em up weapons. Let's take a look at the scum you'll be fighting against. You got your basic ass bitches that die quick, which are these Mad Max looking fucks with ponytails and bandanas. Then you got more complex foes like baseball bat wielding douchebags. These dudes are actually pretty annoying as they block attacks and like to perfectly time their swings that knock you back. You'll randomly encounter these flying dudes that remind me of Baxter Stockman from Ninja Turtles. They don't take many hits to defeat, but they like to just hang out just off screen, which forces you to play this cat and mouse game with them. This might just be the worst designed enemy I fought in a beat 'em up, just because of their off-screen bullshit. Luckily, if you catch them in the air, you can cheese them, but it rarely happens. Of course, a beat 'em up game wouldn't be the same without a stereotypical female hooker enemy. I do love their animation when they're waiting for you to approach, like prostitutes hanging out on the ledge on top of a saloon from the Old West. They like to attack in droves, but are pretty simple to... Is that what I think it is?
I'm not sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I see a nipple.
It fucking is. These bitches are titty dropping all over the place. I played arcade games that involved big boobs and rock hard nips, but I've never seen one poke out before. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Moving on to the bosses you'll face. There are only 5 in total, but they have some of the best sprite work in the game. Like Cue-Ball here, who looks human enough until he turns into this crazy ass cyborg out of nowhere. But what do we do with a heap of trash? Throw its bitch ass into the compactor. Ugh! I just insta-killed a fucking boss in a beat 'em up. This could be the best fucking game ever. Other bosses include Fatso. Nah, for real, she's called Fatso. Shaking her moneymaker with what appears to be the face on her stomach. Is this Krang's mom or something? And we got Conehead, who actually has some cool moves. He spins around like Top Man from Mega Man 3 and uses the carpet on the stage to attack. The boss selection is pretty good, but the enemy selection does get old after a while. As with most beat 'em ups, the enemy selection is too few and repeated over and over. Even Cue-Ball fucking comes back multiple times as a normal enemy, which is pretty lazy. Luckily, the gameplay is fun and the game looks pretty damn good, so it balances out. Let's circle back to the plot real quick. Before the final stage, we see the last boss, Dr. Crayborn, threatening to drop a bomb. He seems really pissed off because we messed up his plans to conquer the universe. I thought he was just attacking the town. When the fuck were we saving the universe? And what ruined his plan? Was it beating the bosses before him? I think you need more than some dumb fuck named Conehead to take over the entire universe. Undercover Cops is a pretty awesome game. I wouldn't put it up there with games like Guardians or Final Fight, but it's definitely the best beat 'em up I've played to come from Irem, and it proved that the developer can make good games that aren't just shooters. Fun gameplay, good graphics, and a decent soundtrack, that is pretty much what you want from a beat 'em up. And a little nipple doesn't hurt either. Have you played Undercover Cops? What did you think of it? Feel free to share your thoughts. Thank you for watching.